Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome to the chat. Please delete as applicable because the internet is worldwide and time zones are a thing. I'd like to start off by thanking everybody that's come over from Samsung Stream. And can I get an audio check to make sure that I've not boomered this and I'm going talking away and nothing's coming out. I'm going to do some hellos. Martin W, welcome. Billy Blogs, Boom Boom Shake the Room, good. October, evening chum, Broken Silence, glad to have you here, mate. Ragnar Orange Beer, dude, I went to shovel a stream in the Scrubs lifeboat and you'd already done it. Thanks very much, chum. The Streaky Bacon, good evening. Anglo-Saxon, you don't really get enough there, Anglo. Thanks for coming, brother. I hope you enjoy this one. John Davison, very big welcome to you. Might as well get this out now while I'm doing my hellos. I'm going to be streaming with John in August. I think it's the 16th. We haven't any itinerary set out or anything. We just know we're going to do a stream and we'll chat about whatever. Emma G, the wonderful, delectable Emma G. Now, Emma is going to be helping me out with tonight's stream. She was going to do it from on the stream, but there's a bit of technical issues, so she's going to be doing it via the chat. I'll come back and explain that properly in a minute or two. Let's see. Just checking through the comments. Resisting the lies, good to have you here. Another thing is that we'll get out in front of. I had intended doing something that was about something other than Ulster this week because I don't want it to be getting too Ulster centric, and I realise there's been quite a bit going on. But and to that end, DJ Resisting the Lies and Scott's Armour are going to help me out at some stage with a stream based on the Highland Games. We haven't really got very far with organising that, but we will get it done. What happened this week was I realised it was the 50th anniversary of Bloody Friday, which is quite an important event in Northern Ireland, with to do with the troubles or the shit, whatever you want to call it. And I decided that was something I could not cover. No chance, good to see it. Broken Silence, I think I have said hello to you, but hello. If that's twice we say hello, it's unintentional. Linda Hunter, good to have you here from down under. Spanish Chickens, good to have you here. No, look, we'll get on to it. We'll probably do that in about 2 or 3 weeks' time. Next week, Emma G and I are away on holiday, so there'll be no research done for next week's stream. Next week's stream is definitely going to be a call-in. Any topic you want, I'll just open it up. We'll talk for a bit, and that's where it's going. But and then we'll get a bit of work done and get a good stream done on the Highland Games. Yes, holiday boating. Yes, we've got a lovely cabin cruiser. We're going to be on Loch Iron, and it's going to be fucking excellent. We were doing some prep work for that tonight, working out an itinerary and stuff, and what barbecue stuff we're going to bring. So it's all good. Rory, evening chum, glad to have you here. Let's see. Yeah, we will indeed. Right. So we're 5 minutes in, and I've explained nothing. Right. So here we go. Uh, going to hide this comment. Bloody Friday was the 21st of July, 1972, 50 years ago this week. Uh, the Provisional Irish Republican Army set off a series of bombs, at least 21. We will, during the course of this, come to why it's at least, because we're not quite exactly sure that all of them have been counted. For various reasons, we have no definite information. The timeline we're working off tonight is the one that was recently published in the newsletter, which has attempted to cut through the clutter and get the actual timeline. The only thing I can tell you for sure is it's not 100% accurate, but it's as close as we can get. And to that end, Emma G is going to help me out in the chat. Whenever you're doing these, putting these chats in, Emma, I suggest you use some sort of emoji and start off with something in caps and capital letters to make it stand out. And I'll put them all up on the screen. So what we're going to, this is very hard. It's very hard to explain how much 21 bombs going off in your immediate vicinity interrupt your life and how invasive that is. So how we're going to work it. And it begins. What we're going to do is imagine that we are currently on 2:09 in Belfast on Friday the 21st. Everybody's going about their day-to-day life. Some people might be working on a garage, servicing cars. Some people might be working on a shop selling fish and chips. Some people might be doing whatever. And at 2:09, there's an explosion bomb on the railway line footbridge at Windsor Park, Belfast. This is entirely a residential area. There's no military there. There's no reason for it to be targeted. And it is also in a totally unionist British area. Believe that the attempt was to have the bridge fall onto the railway track to disable the right, you're starting your timer from now? Good, perfect. So every time at the proper intervals from now, Emma's going to put up something like this, and I'll give you an idea of the confusion and carnage that causes. So we're starting from now. So you'd be working away, and the next thing that you just hear a large boom all over the area. Second bomb, 1410 Smithfield Bus Station, City Centre. The other thing about this is in the days before we had mobile phones. So you hear this loud boom. You're not sure exactly where it is. You start to get garbled messages through the radio. You start to, and you're trying to figure out exactly where your loved ones are. So this is a normal workday. Also, the other thing is this isn't that unusual for Belfast to have a couple of bombs. That's we can live with that. I'm gonna. Do you reckon the PRA had help bombing, etc.? No one ever considered that aspect. How did they get Sam Tax and guns? Well, the IRA had a shitload of help. first of all, there's all the money that the Americans sell. Then there's all the stuff they got from the PLO, Palestine Liberation Army. Then there's the stuff they got from Libya. Then there's the fact that they're connected to every all the Black September groups and every Marxist, communist, terrorist organization in the world. So they had a lot of help, and they also sold off their or sold or traded their improvised devices or bomb making. You know, they were the people. If you wanted to learn how to make a bomb, they were the people that you went and see. So there's the second one. Has just happened at a bus station. So people queuing up, waiting for their bus. Now, as I said earlier, there is confusion about the timeline. There's confusion about exactly what happened. I'm going to pull up the first video, which this video was not of stuff that happened on Bloody Friday. This happened a few months previous. But it'll give you an idea of what the news footage was like in Belfast during the 70s. This is what you would have seen. This is what you would have seen, if not on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. This is what your news footage would look like. So get my share screen up. Share screen. Chrome tab. Sure.
The biggest bomb exploded outside a car showroom in Oxford Street, only half a mile from the city centre. There was no warning and the street was busy with shoppers and motorists. The dead woman was passing in front of the building when 150 pounds of gelignite exploded in a stolen car abandoned outside. Many of the 41 injured are mutilated and seriously ill. The stolen car was left unattended in a restricted parking area, but no one noticed it. This explosion came only 3 hours after the SDLP said that peaceful progress is now possible in Ulster. I spoke to their leader, Mr. Jerry Fitt. Local women have been calling for an IRA ceasefire. There were 3 explosions. The biggest destroyed a wholesale chemist's. In both Londonderry and Belfast, today's bombs would seem to be the IRA's answer to the popular demands for peace.
Right, there's a couple of things in that. There's Billy, let me explain to you about one man, one vote. One man, one woman, one vote happened in 1921 with the Representation of Peoples Act. There was no time when anybody had more than one vote. That is just not true. Right, so what I want to draw your attention to is in that clip, that news clip, it's all right. He can interrupt. We're fine. I can live with that. Right. Yes. So in that clip, they clearly said that there was 3 bombs. Now, whenever I go to the Kane lesson for that day, Kane is the academic site that you go to that lists everything that happened during the Troubles. So if you want to know what happened, you go to this. Just check if this is showing. Yep. Billy, don't worry, you're fine. It's okay. Right. So Kane is a chronological study that tells what happens in every day. Happened every day and during the conflict, all the major things anyway. Now, where was just need to check this again. So forgot to check the date. 26th of the 5th. Right. Just check how this is. I'll need to share this. Share screen. Share screen. Chrome tab. Can't. Share. And I'll actually zoom this in. Right. Now, this site is supposed to give you a list of absolutely everything that happens uh, during the Troubles. You want them, and it's done by the academics, and this is where you go. So for the 26th of May, or 26th of May, the date that news clip was for, that talked about three bombs. You've got 26th of May, Irish Republican Army, IRA, planted a bomb on Oxford Street, Belfast, which killed 64-year-old Margaret Young. The explosion also seriously injured Edward Mills, who was crossing the road at the time. At approximately 12:20 p.m., a 34-year-old man was shot and injured in Savile Street area of North Belfast. On the 1st of December 2015, the PSNI listed this shooting as one of the 9 incidents that was investigating in relation to activities of the British Army's Military Reaction Force, MRF. In the Republic of Ireland, Special Criminal Court was reinstituted to deal with crimes arising out of the Northern Ireland conflict. As part of the measures, trial by jury was suspended. Now, that is clearly only given one bomb. So there's two bombings that happened there that have just been scrubbed from the history. Uh, why that's happening, I can only guess and surmise. Uh, but the things that are being removed are the actions by the Irish nationalists, and the obvious thing that's going to happen out of that is going to be that it's going to look like they were not as bad as they were, uh, which is also why we're stuck with a figure of 21 bombs, and we think it was probably closer to 25. Although I don't know in what world 21 bombs is perfectly fine, but 25 is a bit over the edge. Surely it would be in the RUC back then. Yes, it was the RUC back then, but the reference to the PSNI was their historical inquiry, but people are going to look into it. And that's another thing. There is nobody nobody was ever charged or convicted over what happened on Bloody Friday, but we are still doing historical inquiries and trailing old uh, soldiers and police officers who are elderly uh, through court. 1 second. Yep, 80 minutes in one day. Now, the next thing I'm going to pull up is actually, we'll have a little look at the history timeline. We will. Yep, we'll do a bit of that. Just give us a second, people. Get this next link up. few. Accept those cookies. Just getting this zoomed in so it. Right. StreamYard, we're going to share this. Yes, RUC did have bomb-proof PlayStations. Of a couple of interesting stories about those as well. And big, massive slabs of concrete outside them, so they couldn't be rammed either. Sure. Share screen. Share screen. The Chrome tab. I want this one up. Sure. Right. This is from Military Wiki. Uh, it is actually surprisingly accurate. Bloody Friday is a name given to the bombings of the Provisional Irish Republican Army on Belfast on 21st July 1972. 26 bombs exploded in the space of 80 minutes, killing 9 people, including 2 British soldiers, and injuring 130. Whenever it says injuring, they're only counting the seriously injured, which I think is a bit strange as well. I believe it's an attempt to lower the numbers a little bit. So you had to be. I don't know how you can only be partially blew the fuck up. I would say everybody should have been counted, but the numbers that they want to put into history are 9 dead, 130 injured. The majority of these were car bombs driven to their detonation site that same day. The bombings were partly a response to a breakdown in talks between the IRA and the British government. Since the beginning of its campaign in 1969, the IRA had carried out a concerted bombing campaign against economic, military, and political targets in Northern Ireland. It carried out a total of 1,300 bombings in 1972. Bloody Friday was to spur Operation Motorman, launched by the British Army 10 days later. So what had happened here was the British Army were in talks with the Provisional Irish Republican Army for a ceasefire, and the talks had broken down. Uh, the talks had broken down, and the IRA's response was to blow the shit out of the place. And they believed if they could get enough bombs going off, then the British would give them exactly whatever they wanted. I'm just going to have a quick check through the comments. Yep. So far, 2 bombs that went off, not unusual. In 1972, that was our standard. You know, you'd be working away, doing whatever you're doing, and things would go boom, boom, and you'd carry on with your life. Hopefully, none of your immediate family were involved. But what happened this day got a little bit further on. How many? Would be my question. To that did you ever stand at a street corner and watch the bomb disposal team blow up a car for entertainment? Well, they weren't blowing up for entertainment; they were blowing up because they thought it was a bomb. But we were watching it for entertainment. It's basically what we did in the night as teenagers. It's all really good. British aristocracy rule make at least of people. Mm, suppose it could be a fair point. Right. So I'm going to read on. Overview. In late June and early July 1972, a British government delegation led by William Whitelaw held secret talks with provisional IRA leadership. As part of the talks, the IRA agreed to a temporary ceasefire beginning on 26th of June. The IRA leaders sought a peace settlement that included British withdrawal from Northern Ireland by 1975 and the release of Republican prisoners. However, the British refused and the talks broke down. Uh, what's really interesting about this is when they talk about British withdrawal, they have never stated exactly who they mean because there are over a million British citizens living in Northern Ireland, and given what has went on in this country, we do not believe that the Irish government or the Irish people, and definitely not the Irish Republican Army, will be happy with us remaining here. Uh, Basically, what they're saying is submit yourself to a genocide with those terms of removing the British. The ceasefire came to an end on 9th July. Bloody Friday was the IRA's response to a breakdown in talks. According to the IRA's Chief of Staff, Sean McStafflin, the main goal of the bombing operation was to wreak financial harm. It was a message to the British government that the IRA could and would make a commercial desert of the city unless its demands were met. Some also saw it as a reprisal for the Bloody Sunday in Londonderry 6 months earlier. The attack was carried out by the IRA's Belfast Brigade, and the main organiser was Brendan Hughes. The brigade's officer command, the Belfast Brigade's officer commanding, a total of 26 bombs were planted, and in the resulting explosions, 11 people were killed and a further 130 civilians injured, many horrifically mutilated. At the height of the bombings, the middle of Belfast resembled a city under artillery fire. Clouds of suffocating smoke enveloped the buildings as one explosion followed another, almost drowning out the hysterical screams of panicked shoppers. Of those injured, 77 were women and children. Just want to go back to the chat. Uh, right, I'm just checking through the chat to make sure I haven't missed anything that I really need to cover. And pull this back up. The Belfast Brigade claimed responsibility for the bombings and said that it had given warnings to the security forces through the local media before the bombs exploded. It said that the press, the Samaritans, and the Public Protection Agency were informed of the bombs at least 30 minutes to 1 hour before each explosion. Max Stafflin said that it required only one man with a loud hailer to clear each target area in no time, and alleged that the warnings for the two bombs that claimed lives were deliberately ignored by the British for strategic policy reasons. The security forces also received hoax warnings, which added to their chaos in the streets. The Royal Ulster Constabulary (RUC) and the British Army only effectively cleared a small number of areas before the bombs went off. Furthermore, because of a large number of bombs and the confined area of Belfast city centre, people evacuated from the site of one bomb were mistakenly moved into the vicinity of another bomb. 30 years after the attack, the IRA formally apologised for harming civilians. How sincere and genuine that apology ever was, I don't know. Uh, right, once I'm just checking through the chat. Oh, I think you found that they were always woke retards. Uh, if you read Jerry Adams's autobiography, the first line is, "I want to make this clear. I am not an Irish nationalist. I am a communist." I think you'll find that there has been feminism involved with the Irish Republican Army from day one. Uh, you'll the uh, the people who started the one vote, one man, one vote human rights protest, whenever everybody already had one vote, uh, were indeed Marxists. Let's see, I'm just checking through these comments. The Northern boys have more in common than ever before with who? That one's confusing me. Right, so a couple of things that I want to talk about on that. 30 minutes to an hour warning. Place is coming down, man. The place is absolutely coming down, man. We have two or three of them that are currently sitting in positions of power. Uh, Whenever you have a look at Sinn Féin and the women that are in Sinn Féin, the majority of them have got convictions for bombing or other stuff. Oh, they are totally scum. Uh, the people who did this Bloody Friday thing are were all involved in running Sinn Féin. There's no. The only difference between Sinn Féin and the Provisional Irish Republican Army is which hat they're wearing that day. Uh, yes. So what was right? That's okay. No worries, chum. No worries. We don't fall out here. We may have debates and put things back and forth. We don't fall out. We don't hold grudges. Well, I'll get on to who I hold grudges with. Basically, the IRA, the Irish National Liberation Army, is who I hold my grudges with. Uh, but yes, those warnings were in no way sufficient. Ha! I was six, coming seven, and on the morning of that, I was under the impression that there was some form of industrial mining going on outside Belfast, and that's why we heard explosions quite frequently. But by the end of that day, I had seen the 6 o'clock news and people getting shoveled into plastic bags, and had found out that actually no, there wasn't a mine, and that people were blowing us the fuck up. And the day after that, I had a conversation with my wee friend lived across the street from me, and he would knew a lot more than me because he was seven, right enough. But we came to a conclusion that these people were trying to fucking kill us, and I believe we were right in that. So to properly answer that, uh, I did after I did after Bloody Friday. Up until then, I was oblivious to the fact that there were bombs. I obviously knew that there was soldiers going about everywhere with rifles and military Land Rovers, and that you got search going on the shop in the city centre and all that sort of stuff. But I didn't know what was going on. I don't think anybody was left innocent in Belfast after that day. Uh, that's where childhood went to die. basically, along with all the other things. 1436, Brookfield Hotel, North Belfast. That's another bomb. So you'd have heard, if you were in Belfast then, you'd have heard another boom. So we're going to go back and yeah, they were started they were started by Marxists. That's the bottom line of it. Nah, get back to where we were. So we're going to start to talk about these bombs. 210 Smithfield, a car bomb exploded in an enclosed yard at Smithfield bus station, causing extensive damage to the surrounding area. That was the first one. Uh, Second one, a bomb estimated 50 pounds, 23 kilograms of explosive exploded in the Brookfield Hotel in Brookfield Avenue. The bomb was left in a suitcase by three armed men with submachine guns. The area had been cleared and there were no injuries. Some sources gave the time of this bombing as 2:36. So this is where we're starting to run into discrepancies with time. But uh, yep. So we're starting to get a couple of discrepancies. So you're working away in a hotel and somebody runs up the outside with a suitcase, throws it down and says, "This is about to go boom." And then they bugger off again. That's what happened there. By the way, I'm not in the business of curry flavour. I don't do empathic ball baggery. You boys up there mind the golf and hold the line. It's all good, cheap luck. Want to see what Spanish chicken's saying here? I was 10 at the time. The Irish were blowing each other up. The Welsh were burning down holiday homes. I thought it was nuts. Not much has changed. The more things change, the more they say the same. I'm a lot older than you, Ragnar. You were born in 71. I've never remember a time of peace. I don't remember peace either. Uh, Hello, Bass. What about you, chum? Uh, Now we had one more that we were going to talk about. 2:45. A car bomb exploded outside Star Taxi depot on the Crumlin Road. Nearby was where the houses of the Crumlin Road prison warders and the prison itself. So this was an attack on the prison warders. Basically, that was their target. Some sources say that there were two bombs and that they exploded at 3:25. So this is also where we're getting into confusion about how many bombs there were. Uh, and for the minute, I'm going to take this one out for a minute. Bomb, 1440, Ulster Bank, North Belfast. So there's another one just going on. Uh, you can see by this stage it's getting a bit relentless, and you're starting to question how long this is going to go on for, because we're in the territory that people haven't seen before. 1 second. I just go back to StreamYard. Ulster Bank, North Belfast. Right, 1 second. I'm going to drop that one out. I need to get. Yep, from we start, people, we're currently going this stream 40 minutes. That's an average one every 10 minutes. One second, right. Do you believe at some point the UK security forces had effectively control of both sides? Billy, they had, and that's whenever the peace deal was saying. And this is the mad thing about it. For the 3 or 4 years before the peace deal, everybody was Belfast, Northern Ireland was pretty calm. Things were going well, and then was signed a peace deal, which is absolutely shite. And the peace deal involved the former IRA members getting effectively pardons and the British soldiers being chased through the courts. We should never signed that deal. Never. In the way it was, we should have demanded a proper surrender. It is madness. Yep. 1970, I was on a motorbike holiday in Ireland, and we drove through Belfast at 12 p.m. at night, got stopped by the British Army and held overnight. Yep, that sounds about normal. What was I going to show? I'm taking that one out. I want to go to this. I want to get this link up. Uh-huh. Right. Need to accept some cookies and stuff. Right. 1 second. Yeah, I'm about to get a wee video up here. To give you a bit of an idea of what went on that day. Just a wee short video with actual footage of the day. Right. StreamYard. Sure. Share screen. That's this one.
21st, 1972, and carnage on the streets of Belfast. 22 explosions in around 80 minutes. That day would become known as Bloody Friday, where 9 people died. 6 were killed at Oxford Street bus station, amongst them bus driver Jackie Gibson, whose daughter Linda was 15 at the time.
We saw Daddy driving on the bus opposite us, and he saw the 2 cars myself and my 3 other siblings were in. The youngest one, she was too young to go, and he saw us and he waved, and that was the last time we saw him alive.
And Taoiseach and Simon Coveney, Minister for Foreign Affairs, who was in Belfast today, were amongst those who paid tribute to the victims of Bloody Friday.
479 people were killed in that year, and Bloody Friday was one of the worst days in that year. And I just think it's important to recognise the sensitivities of that and the pain that a lot of people still feel even 50 years later.
The Provisional IRA issued an apology in 2002 and said it had not been its intention to kill non-combatants.
Seeing rescue workers sweeping up human remains, burnt flesh, and putting them into plastic bags. So it was very much a turning point in the Troubles. I mean, I think a lot of sympathy for the nationalist community in the rest of Ireland, in the south, just drained away that day. And there was a sense that this was going to be a long war, which was the phrase the Provisional IRA began to use.
No one has ever been convicted of the atrocities. Annie Gallagher, RTE News, Belfast.
Whenever that guy at the end was saying that that's whenever the sympathy for the Irish Republican Army disappeared in the Republic of Ireland, it didn't disappear to the extent where they were no longer allowed to. Believe it or not, RTE did a better job of that bit of coverage that it was looking for than BBC, which is unsurprising. BBC are having trouble saying the words Bloody Friday, and they're having severe problems saying Irish Republican Army. So RTA, it is what it is. But where that guy at the end was saying that the support for the Irish Republican Army disappeared. It didn't disappear to the point where they could no longer hide their weapons in the Republic of Ireland and move them back and forward to attack people. It didn't stop them having their bases down there. It didn't stop them taking people down there to torture, kill, and hide their bodies. So I don't know how much it did actually lapse for them. It didn't lapse in any meaningful way. And I didn't see any anti-war protests going on in Dublin. Sandsman Communals jumped in. When I worked in the NI in 1991, the two guys I worked with both had carry permits. I nearly shit myself when we first took his jacket off. Yep, there's a lot that goes on. Oh, the other thing is, Chrissy has popped in. Evening, Chrissy. Nice to see you. Hope all's well with you. Right, hide current comment. So that was to give you a bit of an idea of what it looked like. Now, what I wanted to do was, Emma G, help me out here. Were we on the timeline, please? Share screen. Chrome tab. Forty-three men's in. Right. Hold on, view. Zoom in. I'm going to zoom this in again. Why does the screen all seem to be straight? My screen's looking a little strange, people. My screen's looking a little strange. Is everything all still going okay out there? One, two. So we've done Ulster Bank. Hold on, no. We've done Smithfield Bus Station, Brookfield, Ulster Bank North Belfast Botanic Railway Station. Right. I'm just going to get. No, I don't want to do that. Blah. Here we go. Back to StreamYard. Stop that screen share. Boom. 1452. 1452. Botanic Railway Station, South Belfast. Yes, Emma G is the keeper of bombs. And you're getting them in real time, Sans opinion. What's happening is every time there is. Well, we started this assuming that it was 9 minutes past 2 on Friday the 21st, and every time that at the correct interval a bomb went off, Emma's putting it up in the chat, then I put it up on the screen. It's to sort of give an idea of what the level of chaos there was this day. 1453 Queen Elizabeth Bridge, City Centre. There's another one's just went off. So you're still rocking from the noise from the last explosion. And by the way, Belfast's quite small. If you were anywhere near the city centre, you heard every one of these. And also by this time, there was a crowd of people gathered at the markets area and just on the outskirts of Belfast city centre who were cheering every bomb by this stage. That's a Queen Elizabeth Bridge city centre. Now, where am I going? I wanted to have a look at this. Right. There's that. And I'm going to get another link up. Doing some searching on the fly. One second. One second. Oh, fuck, I have to get back. Hide that current comment. Queen Elizabeth Bridge City Centre. Queen Elizabeth Bridge. A car bomb estimated to be 160 pounds, 75 kilograms of explosives exploded on the Queen Elizabeth Bridge. There was some damage to the structure of the bridge, but no serious injuries. Going to go through what we've had so far. Start off with bus station. Car bomb exploded in closed yard Smithfield bus station, destroying many buses, causing extensive damage to the surrounding area. Some sources, right. Brookfield Hotel, bomb estimated £50, exploded in Brookfield Hotel, Brookfield Avenue. The bomb was left in a suitcase by three armed men with a submachine gun. Railway station, York Road Railway Station, a bomb, £30, 14 kilograms of explosives, exploding a suitcase on the platform, wrecking the inside of the station and blowing the roof off. The station had not been fully cleared and there were some injuries. Some sources give it a different time. Ulster Bank, bomb exploded outside the Ulster Bank on Limestone Road. The area had not been cleared. Several people were seriously injured. So we've got injuries, but no actual deaths yet. Yes, Billy. The one man, one vote thing. What you need to do is look up the Representation of Peoples Act. After the First World War, the government introduced the Representation of Peoples Act, giving all men of 21 years of age the right to vote, or at 18 if they have active military service. All women of 30 years were given the vote, and the reason why the disparity between the age of men and women was different was because so many men had been killed during the war, and as the proportion of males and females came together, so did the ages, and within about 10 years of that, everybody pretty much had a right to vote, and there has never been any voting law in Great Britain at any time that segregated voting rights by religion. Anybody believes that has been sold a pup. That just didn't happen. Just want to check I haven't missed anything while I was reading that. No, it was a different Northern Bank that cleared out. Interestingly, I think all the money was safe in the safe. 1459 Garmoyle Street, North Belfast. Trying to find Garmoyle Street. A parcel bomb which had been planted by armed men exploded the premises of John Irvine. John Irvine seed merchants. The building was destroyed, so no injuries, no deaths in that particular explosion. But by this time, there was complete pandemonium going on. The information was very scant and scattered. And like I said before, in today's day and age where you've got a mobile phone and you can talk to people instantly about whatever's going on and make sure that they're safe or find things out, that didn't happen then. Once your partner went out for the day, that was them out for the day. And particularly on a day like this, you've got to be quick. If they worked in Belfast or were to do with the transport, you would have to be questioning whether or not they were going to come home. You thought the one man, one vote issue related to renters not getting a vote and landlords having multiple voters. Billy, what world do you live in? Honestly, you reckon that if you rented 50 houses to 50 people, you could go and vote for them? That never happened anywhere in Great Britain. That is just so far off the track. And I'll tell you better than that. Here's how stupid this is. Uh, 1 second, I'll come back to you. 1501 Agnes Street, Bomb, North Belfast. 1501 Liverpool Bar, City Centre. 1501 Bellevue Motorway Bridge, North Belfast. There's three bombs going off simultaneously, from which you will see the smoke, the clatter, and the noise will be all over the place. Yes, you have been lied to. The world's been lied to. What I don't understand is how they've believed that. I have people who, like me, went with their parents to vote at the polling stations in their local school, and seen 1502 York train station, North Belfast, another bomb. Are you getting to get the idea of how frequent this was? No, that was never a thing. Renting a property and owning a property for voting regulations was pretty much the same. Maybe if you were homeless, had no fixed abode, might cause you a problem with getting registered. But yeah, you could rent the house and vote. Now, what I want to do is get the descriptions of these bombs. We're on 1501. Right, back to stream. Too late. 1503 Ormo Avenue Gasworks, South Belfast. That is the one that was closest to the street where I lived in, and I can tell you the windows rattled right up and down our street, as did the next street and the next street. Now, what I want to get a look at is York Street train station. Right. Hold on. Back to stream. I can't look these up quick enough. Now I'm getting the message from Amazon. Nope. Yep. All the general public were the people on the end of this. Mate, I'm just glad that you're getting to hear it now. That's why I want to do this, because the untold stories need told. No, it was somebody else pinged, and you're doing a very good job of with the bomb keeping. Oh, Rory Harbert. Rory saying when he was in the British Army, they were given some Semtex plastic explosive to play around with, and Fort mine into an ice tray. No, don't be using that ice tray. That is not good. Right. I want to check what bombs we've covered and what we haven't. Eastwood's Garage, Ormo Gasworks, York train station, North Belfast. Uh, this is where I'm running into a little bit of a problem with. I know I need to do 1 second. I need to do this. One second, people. I'm just trying to get this sorted. I'm not even sure they were soldiers that were getting shoved in the plastic bags, mate. I think they could well have been civilians. Where am I going? 1 second. Right. Let's see. Hold on. If I get this up, and I'm going to put that into a whole separate thing. Sorry, what's happened here is the timeline I've got with the description of what happened at each incident and the timeline that I've got of the actual time that occurred are different. So I'm just rigging this up now so I can get the descriptions in time with the thing. Well, 14 bombs in just under an hour. And if you can take a think about how much that's disrupted just this live stream where we're talking about the historical events, how much would that disrupt your life? Now, I'm going to go back through the bombs. Right. We're at Eastwood Garage City Centre. A bomb estimated £150 explosives destroyed Eastwood's Garage in Donegal Street. There were several injuries. Boom, boom, boom. Oxford Street Bus Station, Depot City Centre. Oxford Street Bus Station was a big one. Bus depot, Oxford Street. A car bomb exploded outside the Ulster Bus Depot at Oxford Street, the busiest bus station in Northern Ireland. An Austin 1100 saloon car loaded with explosives had been driven to the rear of the depot. The blast resulted in the greatest loss of life and the greatest number of casualties. Some of the victims' bodies were torn into pieces by the blast, which led the authorities to give national estimates of 11 deaths. The area was being cleared, but was still crowded when the bomb exploded. Two British soldiers, Stephen Cooper, 19, and Philip Price, were near the bomb when it detonated and were killed outright. Three Protestant civilians who worked for Ulster Bus were killed. William Crullers, 15, Thomas Kiltops, 39, and Jackie Gibson. Actually, I should have that up on the screen. 1 second. I'm going to hide that. Let me get down to Oxford Street and zoom this in a bit. Close you up. Right. Sure this. Now, two soldiers, Stephen Cooper, 19, and Philip Price, 27, were near the bomb when it detonated and were killed outright. Three Protestant civilians who worked for Ulsterbus were killed. William Crullers, 15-year-old, Thomas Killops, 39, and Jackie Green, 45. One other Protestant Ulster Bus employee, who was a member of the Ulster Defence Association, was also killed in the blast. William Irvine, aged 18. Crullers, Killops, and Irvine had been in the vicinity of the car bomb, helping to search for the device at the moment it exploded, killing the three men instantly. So what happened was these three guys had volunteered. They'd been told there's a car bomb here somewhere, and they knew that the place wasn't being evacuated in time. So they went, we'll go find the bomb, let us know exactly where it is so we can get everybody away from it. And they didn't manage to find it. They found it as it exploded, and they turned in the red mist. Bus driver Jackie Gibson was killed after having completed his bus route just minutes before the blast. Almost 40 people suffered injuries. Some sources give the timing of this bomb at 3:10 p.m. Right, get that advertisement off. And I'm going to go back to StreamYard. Stop that share. Yep, I've seen that. It's not good. Watching people getting lumped into plastic bags. Yes, good night, Chrissy. Thanks for dropping in. 1514 Stewartstown Road, South Belfast. One second. Try to find the details on this one. Right. Back to StreamYard. Share screen. A bomb thought to have been abandoned on the Stewartstown Road exploded but caused no serious injuries. But the previous one did. One second, I just want to check where I'm at here. Stewartstown Road. Right. I just wanted to check what sort of time I have between this to see what I can and can't do. I could have a look at the Ormo Avenue one. I'm just looking 3 for ones that we haven't talked about. Carmoy Street. And check through the comments. Garmoyle Street, I believe we've done that. We're going to talk about that one. It's relatively easy. Share screen, Chrome tab. Right. Sorry, back to this. Parcel bomb which had been planted by armed men exploded in the premises of no, that's a seed one. Carmoyle Street was the seed place. Agnes Street. This is actually quite interesting. A car bomb estimated at 30 pounds, 14 kilograms of explosives, exploded outside a group of houses on Agnes Street, a British area off the Shankle Road. Those in the area did not receive a warning, but they escaped without injuries. Like, that is a normal, average, everyday street where people live. And no military target, no strategic target. How did they know they were armed men? Because they were waving rifles about whenever they arrived. People seen them, go leave it there. That's pretty much how that works out. The other things is these things were delivered to order, as it were, with not a lot of time to get somebody there, so they'd go leave the bomb. After they've left it, the phone in the warning, and then hopefully somebody comes and defuses it. Although at that stage in Belfast, no bomb, there wasn't even an effort to defuse bombs. 1519 Cave Hill Road, North Belfast. And I'm going to look that one up, Cave Hill Road. Cave Hill Road. A car bomb estimated to be 50 pounds, 25 kilograms of explosives, exploded outside a row of single-storey shops near the top of the Cave Hill Road, North Belfast. The shops were in a religiously mixed residential area. Those in the area had not received the bomb warning. 2 women and a man died in the blast. Margaret O'Hara, 37, a Catholic mother of seven children, died in her car. Her 11-year-old daughter was with her in the car and was badly injured. She was actually badly burned. Catholic Bridget Moore, 65, a Protestant teenager, Stephen Parker, 14, were also killed. Many others were seriously injured. Stephen Parker's father, the Reverend Joseph Parker, was only able to identify his son's body at the mortuary by a box of trick matches in his pocket and the shirt and scout belt he had been wearing. The other thing about this Stephen Parker, this 14-year-old, what he was doing. Yes, what this young lad was doing was he was running from one shop to the other, telling the people to get away because there was going to be a bomb. He'd somehow he'd either seen it being took there or whatever, but he knew or he got the warning, and he was he spent his last minutes telling other people to get out of the way. A 14-year-old kid. It's fucking sickening. Right, I'm going to stop that screen share for a second. And Rory, she is a fucking amazing woman. Yep. The majority of people that have been killed in this so far, instead of hearing a warning and run the other way, they have either been going to find out exactly where it is to warn people to get away, or they have been in some way telling people, look, there's danger here, get yourself offside. Yeah, we all are, boss. There's nothing straightforward. There's nothing straightforward about it. I'll tell you what I do know. The fact that the people that did this are not being chased through the court and prosecuted is fucking sickening. This is shoving between the Protestants and Catholics the real root of the conflict. No, mate. The chasm between the British and Irish is the root of the problem. You had two separate peoples on this island called Ireland at the time, at the time of the Reformation, and the reason why one bunch of people became Protestants was because they supported the king and wanted to remain British, so they took with the king's religion and the then British religion, and the Catholics, the people that wanted to stay Irish, didn't convert to Protestantism and remain Catholics. The fact that they're two different religions is it's not the cause, it's an effect of the schism between the people. And the other thing is, anybody thinks this is about religion, you think all this is happening over a book of common prayer and what way one person prays as opposed to what way another person plays. It, religion's it's nationality. Lisburn Road Railway Line, Crumlin Road. They're about 5 mile apart, by the way. So you had two bombs going off there, and I'll go and have a look up at them and see what went on. Railway line, Lisburn Road. Bomb exploded on the railway line near Lisburn Road. And what was the other one? The other one I think is going to be what's Crumlin Road. It's bad whenever there's that many bombs in the one day. You can't fucking keep track of them. A car bomb exploded at Star Taxi Stop on the Crumlin Road, nearby where the houses of Crumlin Road Prison. We spoke about this before. Yeah, that's a good question. One in the chat, if you think there's been too many bombs for the length of this live stream. Because I'm reckoning maybe there has been. And I'm the other thing to know is that by 1973 in Belfast, two out of every three women were two out of every three women were on diazepam. Do you want to do you want a wee blue one, or do you want a wee yellow one, or do you want a wee diazepam? Do you want a wee Valium sandwich? Was a actual saying and a genuine question, and how they got people to continue functioning through all of this was to dope them up with Valium, diazepam. Now, I want to go to the mapping one. I think I might be actually on their way. Crumlin Road. Spurnville Way, Crumlin Road. Right. Here's where the confusion is with the Crumlin Road one. It's been cited as the Star Garage, but it's also been cited as a taxi depot, and there's a huge possibility that there may well have been a bomb in both locations, which is part of why there's a debate about how many bombs there actually was. Billy, I'm not exactly sure when internment is or was. I'll look that up shortly. I'm just trying to figure out exactly where I am with the thing. Up. Boom, boom. Road to Nuts Corner outside Belfast and Grosvenor Road, West Belfast. There's another two bombs just went off. And what they want? Grosvenor Road, West Belfast. Right. Grosvenor Road, West Belfast. A bomb estimated at 50. Oh, should share this. Share screen. A bomb estimated 50 pounds, 23 kilograms of explosive exploded in Northern Northern Ireland Carriers Depot on Grosvenor Road. There were no serious injuries. And that's it. That's a bombing day is done. 80 minutes, 21 bombs. This is what we are told is the troubles. We're also told, I don't know, there seems to be a problem with oh, thanks, Rex. Internment started in 1971. Uh, were there many bombs in the days that followed? Well, this is it, Emma. Uh, whenever I whenever I went to look up uh, the site that's supposed to give you a chronological order of all the major incidents and definitely all the bombings, there's a shit ton of them missing, so it's impossible to know. From my own memory, I think it was quiet for about a week. I think even the Provisional Irish Republican Army had the sense to know that maybe they should slow it down a bit. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to right, I'm going to do a poem. Go back to StreamYard. I honestly don't know. Jeremy, don't worry about offending. That's definitely not going to happen. Nobody's going to be offended here. I don't know how to word this, so apologies in advance. Was the bombs at the time easy to make compared by what other lots use today? Jerry, the other lots use the Provisional Irish Republican blueprint. Our ones figured out exactly how to make bombs. Now, they started off, they were mixing something you would use. Right, I'm not going to exactly say this on YouTube because I don't know what they are, what their rules are. But in the beginning, they were mixing something you would use to help your plants grow and something that you would use to power some motor vehicles or such like. And they were mixing that together. And then they were working out how to detonate it and all that sort of stuff. And mercury tilt switches were very common for undercar booby devices, booby trap devices for members of security forces. And they then traded their information with other terrorist groups for stuff in return. Like, I'll tell you what I do know. During all this, fireworks were banned in Northern Ireland in case people used the gunpowder out of it. I really don't think that the fireworks were a problem. Ragnar, yes, Libya. We got a shitload of stuff from Libya. Also, Palestine Liberation Army, Hamas. We got stuff from there. We got training from them. Yes, I will second that. Emma G, thank you so very, very much. You have been invaluable this evening. You've done a really good job. And can't thank you enough. Brilliant for that. No. What was I going to do? Going to stop that screen share for a start. And I'm going to do my poem. That my poem about Bloody Friday. Yes, we shall have a little poem. If I can just find this. Right. Here we go. Oh, I have loads of comments. Actually, I could share that screen. Well, I'll tell you what stopped the British Army exterminating the Irish Republican Army, because they hid behind civilians. And contrary to public opinion, the British Army were not willing to walk in and take out civilians that the terrorists were hiding behind. Oh, one in the chat for MG. Right. Get that in. And I'm going to hide the current comment, share screen. What's a window? Sure. View. Right. That picture up here is of a person getting shoveled into a plastic bag, and where have it? How can I not see my window now? Right, there we go. This is the poem I written about Bloody Friday. And it's actually called Read the Poem and You'll Reach the Title at the bottom. The shovel scrapes across the ground. It makes a cold and rasping sound. The contents placed in a plastic bag, the weight of which makes that bag sag. The council worker has to ask, why was he selected for this task? The reply in a distant voice unclear. Probably just because you're here. The shovel scrapes across the ground. It makes a cold and rasping sound. The contents placed in a plastic bag, the weight of which makes that bag sag. I'm not made atop the plastic bag and then attach a little tag. He wonders where this bag should be placed. It cannot go with normal waste. And still, the shovel scrapes across the ground. It makes a cold and rasping sound. The contents placed in a plastic bag, the weight of which makes that bag sag. He looks up to see if by some chance there is a passing ambulance. Looking up, all he sees is decay, the product of the IRA. And in his mind, the shovel scrapes across the ground. It makes a cold and rasping sound. The contents placed in a plastic bag, the weight of which makes that bag sag. Confusion and fear reign near and far. 19 explosions within an hour. 19 deaths, I'm told, so far I'm told. Among them, a 15-year-old. So, the shovel scrapes across the ground. It makes a cold and rasping sound. The contents placed in a plastic bag, the weight of which makes that bag sag. People walking down a city street, an unexpected death they meet. Amid the restaurants and bars, the endless sound of exploding cars. And so I ask, as the shovel scrapes across the ground, it makes a cold and rasping sound. The contents placed in a plastic bag, the weight of which makes that bag sag. What makes someone a legitimate target? Please tell me before I forget. Over 150 mutilated current politicians are implicated. And how do you sleep in your bed at night? How dare you profit from innocence plight? And to those who say, "Not in my name," why do you vote them into power again? Because we remember the shovel and its rasping sound as it travels across the ground, the contents placed in a plastic bag, the weight of which makes my heart sag. Bloody Friday. We do not forgive and we do not forget. Right. Take a deep breath. So there you go. There's a Bloody Friday timeline. Basically, what happened. Thanks, mate. Uh, the people who organised this, arranged this, that done all this bombing, they sit in government. And all my life, I was so. Here's something else. See, for everybody, for every time you hear not all immigrants, not all migrants, not all anything, I spent my entire life hearing not all Catholics are like that, you know. They don't all support the IRA. In fact, your average, ordinary, decent Catholic wants nothing to do with the IRA. However, there are no lines between Sinn Féin and the IRA. And they vote for them and they put them in the power. In fact, I hadn't actually thought of doing this, but I'm going to do this. I'm doing this live. I'm doing a search live. I'm just doing a wee search here. Fuck me, doesn't even give you a straight. Right. We'll try how many Sinn Féin members are convicted. You would think this would be easy to find, like. And what will they? Right. We're going to have a look at Sinn Féin's webpage. Right. SinnFéin.org. Now, professional Sinn Féin. Trying to find the bit where no. Yeah, it is a Russian roulette scenario. Right, Linda has a skedoodle. Right. I'm not. I'm not even going to attempt that. What I was trying to do was find out how many. Yeah, pretty much. If you looked at the SNP uh, manifesto and all their goals and all, they're pretty much the same shit. There was a lot of support for the IRA when I lived in Philadelphia. I was even thrown out of bar. That all stopped after 9/11. It might have stopped in Philadelphia, but you'll find that Sinn Féin's over there raising money at the minute. Uh, Jared, it's about nationality. That's what the core of it. The Unionist British people in Northern Ireland want to stay British, and the uh, Irish people want the border taken down. And woke terrorists. They've always been woke. They've been Marxist feminists the whole time. Going into work mode now. Night shift has caught up with me. We'll have you on the background. Love you too, Emma G, and I hope you sleep well. Yeah, that's one way of going about it. Right. What am I going to do now? Because I'm feeling a bit drained after all that. To be totally honest with you. Anytime, chum. The people that lived in the Republic of Ireland during all this had a totally different reality. To be fair, I don't think they knew half of what went on up here. It definitely wasn't reported properly. And like Billy Blogs, who is pretty well up to terms with things, had a revelation night whenever he found out that if you rented out houses to people, you couldn't go down and vote for them because that's the type of rubbish that was put out. Everybody had a vote. The problems that the Nationalists had with winning an election was not that they didn't have the right to vote, it's that they didn't have a majority, which always makes it a bit hard for you to win an election. Although they did their best with getting the dead to vote and stuff like that. Uh, what I want is something. Oh no, mate! I'm not glum. I'm not glum and I'm not down. It just is a bit taxing. I need something fun. Right. I know what we're going to do. My granddad and his brother came over to fight during World War II and were banished by his family and community. Yeah. that happens. Right, I know what I'm going to do. Going to go to that. Right. We're going to have a bit of something completely different. Coming up any minute now. And we're going to lift the mood. Right. Right. Right, here we go. Linda Hunter, that's exactly what it was on. No, stop that screen share. Share screen. To be fair, I'm not 100% sure what the quality is. Bit of Crazy Sport is. But because I'm doing it on the fly. But, yep, there we go. Here we go. A bit of madness.
I don't like. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe Curtis just ran out of the VW. The hippie box almost killed me. There was too many drugs.
Yes, there's a little bit of Nitro Circus, and I'm going to have a skim through and see what's coming up in that, and we'll watch a little bit more. You would do it with a rule bar. It's always a good idea. Rule bars are good. Let's see. Oh, yep. Here we go.
On that bus. Oh my gosh! That's 2 contractions in a row. Full Gymkhana drift down the landing. That was amazing. Dropping those guys in.
Was that an inflatable canoe? It looked like an inflatable canoe. Right. What a wrap. We're coming up in 2 hours. Guys, I think I'm going to rather you than me. What the hell have I done? I've added an extra 42. All right. Okay. Stop screen. Right. Yep. Give that a whirl. Right, people. You have all been wonderful. I am going to find a bit of music and take us out. I can take this thing off, take that thing away. What I will do is I'm going to do the research and get the Sinn Féin members that are currently in government or in high powers that were have convictions for the Irish Republican Army. I can think of that witch that used to be our MEP. I can't remember her name. She gave a speech in an empty room in the European Parliament. She's a convicted bomber. Cara Nye Crunchloom, or whatever the fuck you call her, the culture person. It's a convicted bomber. Yes. Governments do tend to be crooks, right? I'm going to find some music, and I know what I'm going for. I'm going to go with a bit of Paul Mumford. Yes. Hold on. Right. One second, just get this keyed up. This is the obvious tune to take us out to. Right, 1 second. Right, people, thanks very much. You've all been wonderful. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Big thank you to Emma G for keeping the time with the bombs. And all the best. Here we go. Music time.
There ain't no second chance when they find out you ride with us. They're gonna run you out of town. Don't underestimate how one man can be dangerous. If you don't shoot, you're going down. Don't think your life will ever be a sentimental journey. Just tell your family that you're fighting for their freedom. When you're a soldier in a civil war, you're gonna struggle to the death. You'll know you're fighting for a worthy cause until you breathe your final breath. You will be standing tall all through the night. And when the bell calls, you'll stand and fight. Don't ride without a gun and always have an alibi. Don't mistake rumors for the truth.
Rory, no.
Respect your enemies, for one law they all sanctified. Not for an eye, two for a tooth. And when you realize that nothing gives you lust for glory, you'll truly understand you're never coming back. When you're a soldier in a civil war, you're gonna struggle to the death. You'll know you're fighting for a worthy cause until you breathe your final breath. When you're a soldier in a civil war, you're gonna gonna struggle to the death. You'll know you're fighting for a worthy cause until you breathe your final breath. You will be standing tall all through the night. And when the battle falls, you stand and fight. You will be standing tall all through the night. And when the battle falls, you stand and fight.
I've been 42, you've been brilliant, and thank you all, and hopefully see us all same time next week. Goodbye.